Hi there, my name is Joanne Burgess and my student number is 122464425. And I present to you about the Crimean War, which was in 1853 to 1856, and tell you about the photographer Roger Fenton. The Crimean War was one of the first modern wars with a level of international alliance that we would recognise in today's society. There was also a public frenzy to get involved in the war. Turkey and Russia went to war in 1853. Then in 1855, British and French, Sardinian and Turkish troops all battled Russia, who wanted to expand into the European territory of the Ottoman Empire. This was trench warfare, with heavy casualties of over 200,000, including the Russians. The Crimean War was one of the first media-driven wars, where letters were being sent home and being published in newspapers. Florence Nightingale heard about the poor medical conditions in the Crimea and went there to help, which was an immense news story. The photographer Roger Fenton was commissioned by the Manchester publisher Thomas Andrew and Sons to travel to the Crimea and document the war. Working with the government's approval, the photographs were taken to give information to a worried public. Fenton only documented the tolerable images of the conflict, which to today's standards would not be really acceptable to photojournalists. Because today you need to be unbiased and give a true account. Fenton's extensive documentation of the war made him become one of the first war photographers. At this period in time, it was not an easy feat. He set up a darkroom in a wagon using the wet collodion photographic process. They took approximately 360 photographs. He used wet coated glass loaded into the camera in complete darkness, and with long exposures, the process in the mobile darkroom with harmful chemicals was definitely not an easy feat. The photographs included pictures of the ports, camps and the terrain, the officers, soldiers and the Allied armies. The war was fought on the Crimean peninsula of the Black Sea, and with Turkish military action and political pressure from Britain and France and Austria, this forced Russia to withdraw. The Treaty of Paris was signed on the 30th of March 1856. As part of the treaty, the Russian naval base was supposed to have been run down to reduce Russian power in the Black Sea, as France and Britain wanted to destroy Russia's naval base. This didn't happen, which leaves tension even today, as Russia's Black Sea fleet is strategically important. Russia and Turkey went to war again in 1877, but this time Britain and France remained out. Fenton's images of the Crimea didn't really show action or agony of the war, but they were the first to portray modern day warfare. He founded the Photographic Society, later designated the Royal Photographic Society, in 1853, and he was appointed the first official photographer of the British Museum in 1854, and after the war he had a decade of photography in the medium of genres, including architecture, landscape, portraiture and still life. Although in 1862 he returned to practicing law. In the course of a single decade, Fenton played an important role in confirming photography as a role of information, but also as a medium of visual expression. As with most famous images, this is one from the Crimean War called The Valley of the Shadow of Death. He shows his keen artistic eye, and it fills your eyes with imagination with the aftermath of the war, and death and sickness is left out. He manages to convey this with this image. Thank you.